Hi, I'm Tinny from Any Bowl Design, and today I'm going to try something kind of fun. Somebody suggested that I try dry baking like Hiram Cook did in one of his videos. So I basically watched the video, and it struck me that it wouldn't be something an ultralight backpacker would do, because he had a transient stove, which for these crazy ultralight backpackers that use these little alcohol stoves, no. And he was using two fairly big pots that an ultralight backpacker wouldn't carry. So what I thought I'd do is take this strip of windscreen, drop it in a 12 centimeter Imusa pot, and I've got, for lack of anything else, I've got a lid off of a 10 centimeter with the knob removed. I'm going to use that for my pan, and I'm going to make drop biscuits. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take just some regular Bisquick. You could bake anything you wanted to bake with this. This is just something to test it, and it was easily available, so that's what I'm using. Now I'm going to put a scant 1 cup in here. Scant 1 cup, like 3/4 of a cup probably, actually. Okay, I had a little bit of water in the bottom there, so some of that's stuck. That's okay. And then I'm going to put about 1/4 of a cup of water in. It calls for milk. Don't have any milk. You certainly could use some powdered milk if you wanted to. Okay, now this is a little bit thin, so I'm going to add a little extra to it. I should have used a little less water, but I'm certainly no expert when it comes to this stuff. What I want to do is I want to get it thick enough to make a dropped biscuit. For this particular application, I think a dropped biscuit would be the easiest way to go. And yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. I've got my piece of windscreen in there to keep it up off the bottom. You certainly don't want it to touch the bottom, or it will burn. You probably remember, if you remember all the way back to some of my very early videos, I did this back then and had not a lot of success with it, because I didn't really have the right kind of pot, and I didn't keep it far enough off the bottom. But the deciding factor in it at the time was I didn't have a stove that had the right heat. I was using either a Nyon or an Elite or something for a stove, and the stove was just too darn hot back then when we were using soda can stoves, and I kept burning stuff. It just was too hot. Okay, there's my drop biscuit, which I'm going to drop right in here. It's my M1 stove, 12 centimeter cup with a lid, and I fueled this stove all the way up. All it'll take once. Now we're going to have to cook this for 16 minutes. So I'll turn the timer on, and we'll see what happens. I'll turn the camera back on when we're pretty much towards the end, so you can see what we're up to here. Okay, it's been 17 minutes, and the drawback to this is I don't have a good enough pan. What we need is a pan that'll go down in here with about 1/4 of an inch all the way around, with about an inch high side on it. I don't know what that would be. Maybe some kind of a can or something. Maybe a tuna fish can. I don't know. But the problem is with mine is it slowly oozes out and touches the side of the pot. And when it does, it burns. But boy, that doesn't want to go out. Okay, got my M1 off to the side. And let's see what we got in here. First I'll take the camera up and see what it looks like right in there. There we go. You can see wherever it touched on the edge, it burnt. I need something for a pan that will keep it from oozing out and getting onto the side of the pot. But I'm sure we'll come up with something like that. Okay, there we go. There's the ring. Yipes. And I'm going to take my knife out because this is hot and don't have a pair of gloves. There we go. Okay. Now, there we go. There's what it looks like on the bottom. See where it touched, it burned. But other than that, you can see, and that's hot. And I'm going to try to break into it here. There we go. You can see, came out fantastic. Done all the way through. It's not burned on the bottom, only where it touched, and that's because I didn't have the right pan. Now, I'm pretty sure anybody has to agree, if you're out backpacking, that is very feasible with just an Imusa pot and an M stove, preferably an M1, but if you paid attention and didn't get out into the donut on the M2, you could do it with the M2, you just wouldn't want to fuel it up all the way. Now, I fueled this stove twice to do that in about 17 minutes, so that gives you an idea how much fuel you'd use. Not that much. The reason why I was able to do this with so little amount of fuel and so little amount of paraphernalia is I'm using a small pot, and that's all I have to heat is just this pot. I didn't have a big heavy lid on it. Wasn't a lot of place for the heat to vent out, and I had the small stove. That's the secret, is the small stove. Now, I watched Hiram do it, and I knew from my past experience that, in my opinion, he had too much stove, but he had other things in place to make up for it. He had the stuff way off the bottom, and he had a big pot, and it had a lot of vent. So I thought that was basically all to make up for the heat of the stove. I thought if I had a smaller stove and a tight oven, I could probably do it with a lot less alcohol, and I think I have. But I really thank Hiram for doing it and giving me the idea, because this works great. This is better than the steam baking by far, because everything is browned up and nice and firm. It's just the same as cooking right in the oven. It's very good. If you want to put a little milk with it and some other things that make bannock or something, I think that's the way to go. So what we need to do is we need to find something that we can use for a pot that'll just fit inside there and maybe give a 1/4 inch air gap all the way around it. Probably something for a can, maybe a number 10 can or something cut off. And I'm sure you guys will come up with something. But give this a try. And if you're going to use an M2, just don't let the alcohol get out onto the donut. Just use the center section. I fueled it about twice in 16 minutes. And right towards the end, the last 3 minutes, fuel it right up and heat it right up hot, and that'll brown the top. So, I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike. Take a friend. Enjoy the great outdoors. And more important than anything, cook some really great meals with your alcohol stove. And try to have a really great day. Bye-bye.